Hi everybody, welcome to a demo of Primer on Demand. I'm Brady, I'm one of the co-founders of Primer, and I'm going to walk you through Primer right now. So first things first, you can think of as Primer on Demand as your way to get video ads, image ads, and landing pages for all your growth marketing, whether that's TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Pinterest, kind of you name it, landing pages for your SEM. So this is how, as a growth marketing leader or as a growth marketer who's going to be utilizing and launching this creative, this is how you're going to be able to move your performance forward. And that's, essentially because creative is going to be the way that you find that 2x, 3x, 4x win, drop your CPAs by 30% or increase your ROI by 50%. That's going to happen from creative wins. That's going to happen from landing page wins, and really how you connect with your customer and help them see you as the best way, the fastest way for them to solve their problems. But a lot of marketing teams do not have a constant creative pipeline. In fact, this is very, very consistent. This is probably 90% of marketing teams out there say that they do not have enough creative, do not have really the resources they need to be able to execute their roadmap. And a few different problems come out of that. The number one that's the most obvious is you're just limiting your ROI. You're not able to find those wins to improve your CPA or to improve your ROAS. And that's the most obvious, but there's also a few things in there that come out of that are less obvious. And one is how much time, marketers spend fighting for design resources. You might actually find yourself fighting for design resources. And that's just a lot of time that could be going to strategy. It could be going to optimizing your campaigns. It could be going into researching new different concepts you could try. But instead, you're just sort of trying to see if you can get the internal resources, or you can get that contractor, if you can get these resources. And so it's a lot of just wasted effort. And even when you do get those design resources, a lot of times you get the designs from somebody who is not an expert in growth marketing designs. They're actually just more of a generalist designer. They make things that look great that don't really convert in growth marketing because they're jumping from the help page to the home page to a press release to getting you that campaign that you need to launch. And so you end up getting something that just doesn't perform after all of that effort. And so that's why in the end, a lot of teams end up with the thing that's their top performer, their number one winner. It's kind of like this ugly thing that the marketer made in Canva. And so Primer solves all of these problems. So Primer is your design platform, again, to get your growth marketing videos, images, and landing pages. You can think of it as your continuous pipeline of ad creative. Everything, so it's all a self-serve platform where you request your creative and review your creative and organize all of the creative that you've generated. Everything is actually created by video editors, graphic designers, landing page creators who are experts in growth marketing, who work in growth marketing every single day. In fact, they also work on the agency side of Primer's business, where they actually work with accounts that are spending $100K, $200K, up to $3 million a month. And so they are actually going through all kinds of trainings and just working day to day in terms of learning what's working, what's not working, what's optimal for TikTok, what's optimal for Instagram and Facebook versus Pinterest, kind of you name it. So they're getting all of this expertise, and you're getting that in all of your designs. And everything is designed for conversion. This is designed for digital growth marketing, for paid growth marketing. This is designed for you to actually be able to improve your ROAS, reduce your CACs or your CPAs, and really drive your performance forward and scale. So there's actually 3 tiers of Primer. So the base and the most popular tier is sort of the on-demand creative plan for Primer. And with that, that's where you get the image ads, video ads, and landing pages, all delivered within 2 to 4 business days. And so the way that works is actually it's all designed around the idea of growth marketing. So you get up to 5 images in 2 business days, up to 3 videos in 3 business days, and 1 brand new functional hosted landing page that you can actually set up a CNAME or set up a subdomain to be able to have a link that just works right away. You can get that landing page in 4 business days. So again, up to 5 images in 2 business days, up to 3 videos in 3 business days, and 1 landing page in 4 business days. And that's great. And in that case, you're getting creative going, and you're kind of defining what is the copywriting, what's any copy and high level directions that you need, and then a lot of and then the design decisions are sort of being made by the behind the scenes by the Primer growth marketing expert designers. Creative and copywriting is an upgrade where you actually are able to just kind of give a high level description of what you need, and some of like the raw photography or raw video footage that you might want to include in there. And then after that, a creative strategist will actually then go ahead and make the rest, or write the rest of the creative brief and your creative request. And then that'll go over to, again, the growth marketing expert designers. So that's more of like a full suite where it's a lot more of it's taken care of for you, and you get even more of that growth marketing expertise. And then the last, the highest tier plan, you get all of that, plus you get one big UGC project per month where you get 2 different creators, 4 different videos per creator, and 8 total video ads where you get not only like the original UGC, but you also get the video editing to turn that. You get the creative strategy and the video editing to get you 8 amazing video UGC video ads by the end of the month. Awesome. Now let me jump into a demo of Primer. Cool. So this is Primer. This would be your request queue. And so in the queue, you can see the 3 different types. We have the UGC, the creative, and the copywriting. And in here, this is where all of kind of like the action is going to happen. This is where you review everything. This is where you can see anything that's in progress. This is where you can queue things up in terms of like what should go next. And we'll circle back on here in a second. Over here is your creative library. And so in your creative library, you have a history of all of your different, everything you've ever generated through Primer. So all of your videos, images, landing pages, UGC, all of that's going to be inside of your creative library. You get accounts of how much you've ever generated through Primer, and then a couple cool features where you can actually tag things as like a big win, a win, okay, or a scrap, so that way you can always like go back and say like, all right, I need to launch a new audience or a new platform. I want to grab just like our winners from the last 3 months, that kind of thing. Then here's your command center, which is fantastic because this is how you don't end up needing to communicate your branding over and over again, or unique selling points that work really well in your marketing or anything like that. All of that just goes into the command center, and all of this gets referenced whenever a request is generated for you. And so the first is style guide, logos, fonts, colors, music preferences, best practices, so like do's and don'ts, and then some other information in here, as well as your like company information, so company description, problem you're solving, unique selling points, and then an overview of your customers. And so this is great because this will all get referenced whenever anything's being worked on, and that way you don't ever have to once this is set, you don't have to worry about making sure this is all communicated whenever you're trying to work with somebody to get some growth marketing creative. And so that's fantastic. And then all of this kind of context is utilized in the creative. Then you've got your dashboard. So on your dashboard, this is kind of like your home base. This is where you're going to land whenever you come back to Primer. So you see your message board here. You see a little, and within the message board, one thing I'll note is like this is a fantastic place to message the Primer team because the right person from Primer will see it and be able to jump back and get back to you right away. Or if that person is busy, then somebody else from Primer will be able to jump in and say like, hey, we noted, we're gonna get back to you in a bit. And so this is a fantastic way to be able to communicate with your creative director, your production coordinator, etc. And then if you have anything to review, it'll be noted here. And then recent activity is going to be overview of anything you've done, your team, your coworkers have done, or the Primer team. Cool. All right, and back to the request queue. So again, here's where you're going to review. This is where you'll see anything that's in progress. This is where you're going to queue things that are coming up. So let's start with the queue. So here is your queue. So in this example, you have 3 requests coming up in your queue. You can move around the prioritization of your queue. And the way it works is that as soon as one of the types, let's say you're on the base creative plan, as soon as a creative request is delivered to you, the next creative request will get picked up. So let's say this Thread Beast lifestyle video was delivered to you. As you put it in, 3 days later you have these great video ads. I think these are maybe potentially TikTok or maybe TikTok and Facebook. So you get these TikTok video ads delivered to you. As soon as those are delivered to you, the next video ads are picked up, and so the next creative request is picked up. So in this case, it's the Timex, and so as soon as that's picked up, it's going to get delivered to you within 3 business days. Cool. And again, so you have total control over prioritization of the queue, and it's amazing. So you can just queue up, let's say you've got, the next month or 2, you've got a bunch of things coming up. You could just queue up everything at once and kind of sit back and wait for all those creatives to come into you. Then let's see here. So let's review actually a request. So Here's an example of a video ad request. This is an actual real request for Timex. So we've got the Marlin automatic gifting. It's going to be a Facebook and Instagram ad. We've got vertical sides as the core side, the primary aspect ratio, and then you can add as many other aspect ratios as you need. In this case, we need the 1:1. We've got number of variations, so you can get, again, up to 3 video variations or up to 5 image variations in a batch. That's important. That's very much like this, very much around the whole idea of testing and iterating and improving your growth marketing results. And so you should always take a few shots on goal. Then you've got your description, inspiration. So if you have like a competitor or you have another brand that you just love the kind of marketing they're trying, or there's a previous example that did really well for you, you can always add that here. And this is a great way to test kind of like that swipe file. Then you've got creative media. So any like base like footage or photography that you want to be used in this kind of creative, you add that here. And you don't have to like tell us you don't have to like say exactly like use this at this exact time or use this exact kind of creative. Just like upload some different options, and then that creative direction can be done by like the Primer growth marketing design experts. Then you got the video script, and so if you were on the copywriting plan, so that second tier plan up, you would actually be able to just skip this entire step, and a creative strategist would write the whole script for you, including visual directions and all of that, deliver it to you to review, and once you say like, that looks great, then it goes over to design. And so you get a lot more of that just like taken care of for you on top of the kind of more expertise that you get there. But in this case, if you wanted to write something and you wanted it, like I need something in 3 business days, you could add the copywriting here and then deliver, and then submit it, put it at the top of your queue, and then have that delivered quickly. Awesome. And then just any other information you want to include. Cool. And then another great thing about Primer is that all of your reviews are going to be built into this. So there's no like back and forth, there's no emailing, there's no all of this like confusion around like at what timestamp or anything like that. Let's actually take a look at a real review here. I'm just going to mute it while I'm talking to you all. So here we go. So press play. So we've got this ThreadBeast video. Quick hits, this is built for more of a Facebook and Instagram look because it's more from the brand itself. But let's say we need to change this. Let's say that we've moved on, or I don't know, maybe legal said that that's not a line we can say anymore. So you go in here and say like, hey, we need to change the language to XYZ. So you can post that right in there. And then as you can see, as soon as you request revisions, Primer will be able to see exactly where in the video and even visually on that exact frame you need the changes. And so that just eliminates miscommunication. And what that means is that like it reduces the number of revision rounds you're going to go through. And so on average, we actually only see 1 round of revisions per request in Primer. And so you're just like saving a ton of time, eliminating all of that really annoying back and forth, and just like moving forward quickly, getting your creative faster, spending less time on reviews, essentially. Awesome. And then if that all looks good, you've gotten your brand new Facebook and Instagram video ads, and you approve as is, you're going to then see that in your creative library. And again, you're going to have now a history of all of your creative that you've ever generated through Primer for all of your different growth marketing platforms. All right, so that's Primer in a nutshell. Hope to have you onboarding and trying out Primer soon, and have an awesome day.